So a few people in our team this week have been asking about making samples. Making samples are a really good way of sharing new scents with your customers. You could just use single cubes from the bars as a sample, but they're quite high, so you can't fit them in a large letterpost in the UK. What I tend to do is make my own samples that are nice and thin and fit in the letter. You'll still get the smell for the customers, but without the charge of posting them. Then you're going to take your jug and place it into the water, okay? So what's basically going to happen is that hot water is going to warm up your wax inside, but without getting it too hot and burning it. So you're then going to take your Scentsy bar. So here's my indigo petals, and I'm going to break down the cubes and pop them into the jug. If you do have a spare grater, you could grate down the wax first. It will make it melt quicker, but I'm not in a rush, so I'm just going to stick with it like this. Another thing you could do, if you really are kind of strapped for resources or time, is simply use the clamshell that you've taken out of and use that as a mould to tip it back into, but make it a lot shallower than the normal waxes. So as you can see, the wax is gradually melting down. Let me just show you the sample again. So when you're filling your mould, you only want to fill it to about half a centimetre to a centimetre deep. First of all, it's going to make the wax last longer, but secondly, again, it's going to make it easier to post. So what we're going to end up with once they're dried and popped out is the little paw print here. I think this is super cute. So when you take the jug out of the water, it's worth using an oven glove just to make sure you don't burn your hands, but you can see that wax is completely melted now. It's worth giving it a little swill around just to make sure all the oils and the paraffin are mixed together. Let's pour a little bit into each mould. Again, as I said, don't want to go too deep. You want to make your wax make quite a few moulds. Remember, as I said, I used 4 cubes to start with, so I'm aiming to get 8 samples out of this. As you can see, I've gone a little bit shallower than I thought I was going to, so I can probably top a couple of them up. And I think I might actually get another couple of samples out. So once they've had some time to cool and set, simply turn your mould upside down, give it a little tap on the back, and your samples should drop right out. There we go. So you'll see I did it too quickly. This one hadn't quite cooled, so you can see it's bent a little bit. But then I would just leave them for a little bit longer to completely cool off, and then just pop them in a plastic bag and pop them in the post, and you'll see they're nice and thin. So really easy to post along to your customers. If they've got a warmer, that will give them enough smell for a couple of hours, so they can get a sense if they like the fragrance. If they haven't, as I said, just rub it between your fingers and get them to give a good sniff of their fingers. If you need any more information on making samples or what fragrances are good for samples, you'll see my contact details on the video. Drop me a message, leave a comment below, and I'll give you some more information. Cheers for watching.